right, Yangarra, YGR on Toronto Stock Exchange. Actually, on the big board. Okay, sorry. This is a really tough case, I gotta tell you. I don't know what's going on with the stock, and the stock is way down, and I don't have a good explanation. Normally in the marketplace, I can find the reason, and I can agree or disagree with it, and take an action from there. I cannot find the reason here. I can speculate on a couple of things, and I'm gonna go through that, but I do not have a definitive answer. I can only speculate. All right, so let me tell you what I did do to figure this out. First of all, I just saw that it was way down last few days, and it looks like it's down 50% in 3 months, 68% over the last year. And just a few months ago, now the timing of stocks is funny as the clock keeps rolling, right? It was actually up for the year with just a few months. It's like I said, because we had it coming from a lower point to a higher point, and you just shift that a little bit, and all of a sudden that shifts it to down for a 12-month period. And it came out of the blue, and like I said, I don't have a great explanation. So I went to every possible source, nothing there, no news item, nothing to discuss. I did see some buys and some upgrades from some analysts on the street, so that's a good sign that they're sticking by it, just like I'm going to kind of stick by it. I'm just going to tell you the situation I think you're in, really, if you own it or if you don't. So that's good that analysts are sticking by it. Management has said nothing. I checked the data. I checked, okay, sometimes, because it actually looks quite good in our work. A lot of check boxes, check marks, and I thought, well, maybe the data's wrong. That's possible. It does happen, I don't know, less than 2% of the time, but you got to check. And I check, and it's bang on. Like, the data is perfect. So, I'm going to show you the model. And bear in mind, like I said, that the data is perfect. And you see, a history of the company where, way back in the day, they're just getting it started and not making any money. And then they made a little bit of money, and oil prices came down. But then, really it's these last 3 years where things have started to actually shape up pretty good. And the stock was acting that way. As you can see, it's hard to see maybe on this graph, but the stock chart kind of layered in behind there is moving up, as you would expect, as the return on capital improves. Like, that's fairly typical. We get it, the first quarter of the year, and it improves just a little bit more. And typically, a stock will go up in that kind of framework, and that kind of these results. Look at the financial statements directly. Sometimes, there can be timing issues, and sometimes, it gets a little distorted, the return on capital, but, revenue's up 34%. This is Q1. We don't have Q2 yet. Pretty good margins. Like, we're earning 27 million of EBITDA versus the same quarter of the year before was 20 million. And, that's a nice move up. Nothing wrong with that. Dilution was fine. There really is nothing in here on the financials, and like I said, the data is accurate. I think this is a representative of, good representation of what they're earning. They've been putting some capital work and still earning a good rate of return. Valuation obviously at the moment looks, way cheap. And when I say really cheap, I'm not just saying on our method. I looked at, EV/EBITDA on a trailing basis is only trading at 3.5 times. Earnings on a trailing basis trading at 4.5 times. Earnings on a forward basis 3 times. No news, great metrics, both valuation and performance, like corporate performance. I can't find a reason. I'm sorry. I wish I had a better. Answer for you. So, given all of that, what are you going to do? That's obviously a big question. This is the reality of what we face at this moment. Is there's something going on that we don't fully know. Okay. What could be happening? I'll say a couple things that could be happening is Canadian small cap energy. Right, that there could be just people saying, you know what, we had a run. If you dial it back 6 months ago, it was actually it was outperforming. As I talked about the time frames and all that stuff. So you would over the last that 6 month period was awesome. And maybe people would say, okay, look, small cap Canadian energy, let's get out. There could be a big fund that changed their investment policy. This needs cash. Who knows? So they're just peeling it out, and that's a major drag on the market. Okay, there could be something else going on. By the way, insiders are buying shares, not selling. So I looked up that as well. So there's this big matzo ball hanging out there of an unknown, and honestly, this is rare in today's marketplace because information is out there and it's easy to come by. So I'm like, net of it, I'm not changing our course. I can see if you're frustrated, and you know what, sometimes you just want to move on. Why be in this situation where you're confounded and perplexed when you can just move on? But I have a very small position, which is exactly what I would want in this situation, because it's either there's something like I said, we don't know about, and I don't know, who knows, regulation or well dried up out of the blue, who knows, I don't know, and it goes to zero, or all of our other check marks we talked about are fine, and this thing, it was just some big seller just changing his investment policy and changing his portfolio around and had to get out of it, and this thing will rebound right back and it'll double or triple. So the only way to play this is light. This is not a back up the truck situation, even though in some ways you go, oh, everything's great, everything looks amazing, but there's some big unknown out there. Stocks don't trade like this unless there's something else going on. That's just the way it is. So I'm sorry I don't have a better answer, but that's the reality that we live in, and it's going to happen. 1 out of 100 stocks, and this happens to be it.